Hello, welcome to Skye Sweaty Record Review, episode 110. It's the only first listen new music review show hosted by a French professor immediately after getting off an elliptical at the YMCA. So you may notice, I'm out here in the sun. It's spring, you might hear the sound of lawnmowers here in suburban Rochester, and I'm going to be talking about the very Los Angeles band Drugdealer. Now, first of all, I need to say what a feat this album is for this reason. I listened to like 20 albums that I would like to actually review this week. But this is my Thursday review, so this is the last one I'm going to review until the new albums come out tomorrow. And I really didn't want this album because I hate this guy's name. Drugdealer? God, I don't like drugs, and I really don't respect drug dealers. So I was just like, I am not gonna like this. That's how good it is. I'm reviewing it anyway, even though the name is like the worst name. Like the name could be like, Turd Nuggets, and I'd be like, well, that's a better name. Funny story actually, when I went to grad school in Santa Barbara, I used to have really long hair and a big bushy red beard, and apparently I looked like the campus drug dealer. So one time this guy walks up to me and he's like, hey, are you the dank man? And I just look at him and I sort of straighten up my tie and I just go, no, I'm a French teacher. So that was kind of badass. But you know what's not badass is this album, and I mean that in a good way. So the thing about this record, and the reason why I have sunglasses here, I'm going to wear them here like I'm from Los Angeles. I'll wear them up on my head like I'm from Los Angeles, is this is a really Los Angeles sounding album. Now, I've had an interesting relationship with Southern California rock music. Like most, sentient beings with a soul, I have kind of a dislike of the Eagles. I sort of actually hate the Eagles. Yet I have a bizarre love of Harry Nilsson, Jackson Browne, sort of that whole scene, Warren Zevon. I love a lot of things that are really LA, and I have a hard time figuring out what is it that I like and what is it that I don't like. My older brother Ward, he's a little bit more hardline. So I remember once, I was talking to him. I was like, so, what do you think of Nilsson? What do you think of Van Dyke Parks? What do you think of all these people? And he's just like, to LA. So this album, Wild Honey by Drugdealer, terrible name, it's hard to tell. Part of me wanted to not like it because it feels like it's trying to sound like 1970s LA music. But then on the other hand, that was a really fruitful time for music. There's a lot of interesting things going on, and it's an interesting soundscape. So if you don't know, if you're someone who watches my show because you love underground hip-hop or electronic dance music, let me lay down to you what it is that makes Southern California rock and roll, Southern California rock and roll. And all of these things will pertain to this album. The main thing I notice is a very muted drum sound. I mean, there's even songs where you think they're never going to hit the snare drum, and then they do, and they'll just hit the rim with the side of the stick. The drums all sound like they have a pillow on top of them. Nothing's very loud and aggressive. If there's an electric guitar, often it'll have a chorus on it as opposed to distortion. Basically no distortion. Tons of choruses. There's one chorus on here, and my note was a chorus with a very chorusy chorus. Meaning there was a chorus of people singing on the chorus, and they put a chorus effect on those people singing. So it has this kind of washed over feel. Lots of harmonies, often a lot of piano, and a kind of what I would define as a spiritual softness. So, I grew up in New England, and I sort of pride myself on being hard and pointy and edgy, So I don't know why I like Jackson Browne. I don't know why I like Southern rock, Southern California rock and roll. Maybe that's why. There's a sort of ability to be soft. And you could call it even soft rock, easy rock, folk rock, but yet somehow there's something in it that I just enjoy. So if you like that, I don't make it sound very good right there, but if you like that, you should listen to it. By the way, is it too loud with that bird in the background? He's a jerk. So let's kind of go through this album, kind of track by track. It starts off with the sound of someone leaving a convenience store and a car starting up and driving off, which is a very LA way to start an album. I used to live in LA. People drive so much in LA that one time I was walking and somebody drove up drove up next to me and begged for change. I can't make that up. It actually happened. It was on a Western, no. What's the one with the gulch? It was on Gower. There's like an Arco, not Arco. Maybe it's an Arco. Whatever it was a gas station, and the guy asked me for money. It was very funny. The album, so it kind of starts off with very soft guitars, some strings, some kids singing, and then we have the first track, Honey. And there's basically two different kinds of songs on this album. Songs where the guy, Drugdealer, I think he's just one guy, his name is something very boring, not bad like Drugdealer, where he just sings and does everything. And then he has guest singers. And on the whole, the songs with guest singers are much better, because I really like this guy's songwriting, but his singing can be kind of nasally and annoying in not a Neil Young way, in sort of a nasal and annoying but not Neil Young way, which is a whole nother way. So the first track is called Honey. It's excellent. I mean, really, the whole album is very solid, very consistent. With someone named Weyes Blood, which autocorrects to Weyenhausen. I don't know why that is. And on this one, it's got this nice female singer. She's singing kind of deep register, nice chord progressions, nice melodies, take you all the way through. There's sort of a really noted George Harrison feel on this album, particularly his solo stuff in the 70s before Jeff Lynne destroyed his music. You thought I hated Beck. Oh, do I hate Jeff Lynne. Moving on. Kind of like that light kind of guitar, slide guitar on there. And the next track, Lonely, is where you hear him sing. You hear Drugdealer actually singing. And that's a different solo Beatles album. He actually sings just like Ringo. My computer's almost dead here, but I'm gonna let you kind of hear, if you hear the Ringo singing on this song here, Lonely.
You look so lonely. Why haven't you found another guy? I'm sure you could have.
But it's really nice, I mean, that gives you a sense of what this album is like. Really nice, unassuming, soft, but I don't know. It's weird. It's like it's soft, but I feel like there's substance there, Lyrically, there's not a ton going on here. Like, that's a good example. Like, Why Are You Lonely? Some songs kind of about love. It's not really about the lyrics. The lyrics aren't bad. They're just not particularly memorable. Thank God they're not about drugs. God damn. I'm so sick of drugs. It's the problem with reviewing music. So much of it is about drugs. Anyway, the next track, Lost in My Dream, not as good. It's more like an ooh la la song. That's where his nasally bit kind of gets to me. Nice horns. Then the song Fools comes in, and that's a very Jackson Brownie song. I really like Jackson Brown. Kind of vintage keyboard on the verse. The chorus, that chorus is the chorus with heavy chorus on chorus. I'll play that for you so you hear what I mean. This is Fools. Here it is. Heavy chorus on chorus. Do you hear that? It's like a chorus of people singing with that effect. And some of the simplicity of the lyrics, which I like, fools lie to each other. Yeah, why not? That one actually has like a different guitar tone. It has like a guitar solo that sounds like a Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits guitar solo. But it'll only last like 2 verses. Nice song, a piano track called If You Don't Know Now, You Never Will. A little bit more of that Nilsson-y kind of sound, maybe just because it's piano. Very, very George Harrison guitar on this in a really great way. And then it has this really nice outro. And this is some of the best, one of the things about sort of Southern California rock that I really like is that there's no virtuoso anything going on. People are just making this music, and it's not about like showing off what they can do, So like on this album, at this end here, there's a really great bass work, but it doesn't go too far. Really nice drumming, but it's not like, monster animal drumming. So there's a nice kind of instrumental outro, which I think is my favorite part of the whole album, actually. And that's on the song If You Don't Know Now, You Never Will, towards the end here, around 3:30. Here we go. It has this it's wordless, but it feels anthemic, And maybe you're sitting there and you're hearing this and you're like, make it stop. I can't take this. Yeah, man. Yeah, you know, we're just hanging out. It's cool. Down with the mustard seed, put my phone on the table, drink a latte at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You know, maybe you can't take that. But maybe you can. This is great. It's great music. That's really great. Actually, my favorite track is the song Wild Motion with this different singer, Dougie Poole. As I said, he's best when he has someone else singing because he's a really good songwriter and he creates a really nice atmosphere, but his voice gets just a little bit annoying. Here's just a quick example of Wild Motion and Dougie Poole. Listen to this crooner. Here we go.
Wild motion running through your life.
Almost like Roy Orbison-ish. Very pretty. Okay, hard to turn off. It does get a little samey, maybe, with this atmosphere. The songs sometimes blend together, but in general, if I had to give it a 3-word review, I'd say super LA soft. Soft LA, comma, super, because I really like it. I don't know. Anyway, new albums come out next week. A new Eric Taxon's coming out, so I'll have to review that per my self-contract. And until next time, new music is the fountain of spiritual youth, and there's the camera.